Forget gurus. Forget anyone claiming to be an online business expert without going through the challenges of entrepreneurship themselves. The Real Money, Real Business podcast is here to prove the best insights in online business comes from your fellow online business builders. We dig into stories of entrepreneurs selling their business on the Empire Flippers marketplace so that you can learn how they made their business profitable, how they overcame obstacles, and what lessons they learned in their online journey. If you want to take your business and your knowledge to the next level, you've come to the right podcast. Let's get started.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Real Money, Real Business podcast. We record these interviews so potential buyers can learn more about the business and the seller to help them make a buying decision. Now, all of the business details, which include the type of business it is, how much revenue and profit it makes, and all of the assets included in the sale can be found on the business listing. To view this information, you can visit empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for this business listing number, which is listed in the video thumbnail and the description. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, you can click the link in the description to go straight to the listing. And if after listening you want to take an even deeper dive into the business to perform your due diligence before potentially purchasing this business, you can unlock this listing to look through all of the business information, which includes the domain, the products, the P&L, and more. So can you tell us a little about your background in building and running online businesses?
Background in building, running online businesses, got into e-commerce / entrepreneurship when I was like maybe 15, 16. Started taking it seriously around late 2017, went through 3 or 4 failed businesses through college, got my degree, started working a 9 to 5, and then saved up some money, got back into e-commerce. And this was the first successful business. This was the first business that I quit my job. A month in running it, I took the leap of faith and, quit and decided to pursue it full time. And never looked back. And that's really my experience thus far.
So why are you selling the business now instead of keeping it and growing it further?
As mentioned in the first question, this was my first successful business, went through a lot of learning experiences and learning how to operate a business full time rather than something on the side, something that was actually tangible and real. It was my first one. So I basically learned through the mistakes and I made a lot of mistakes. I grew a lot and just learned so much about e-com and, doing this full time. And I have a vision for this business long term, and I did want to keep it. It doesn't align with the resources that I have or the capital that I have. Like I said, this was my first successful business. I kind of just want to sell it, have some capital, reset, and take my learnings, take my mistakes, and take it to the new business.
Can you describe the amount and the type of work that you do on this business to maintain it?
Honestly, I don't do a lot, which is really great. I would say I work anywhere between 5 to 10 hours a week. It just depends on what's happening that week. Everything is completely outsourced right now, from Facebook to Google to emails to customer service to Amazon. Everything is taken care of by agencies or freelancers, contractors, whatever you want to call them. Social media is all handled. The only thing I handle is creative strategy. That's my best skill. So I make all our ads. I run our TikTok page. And then the only other thing I handle is logistics, like supply chain, whether it's inbound orders or orders that I have to place, and kind of go through our inventory management software and just kind of see, okay, what are we predicting? What's our sales velocity and what do we need to order? So in terms of actual work that I do, it's really just creative strategy and supply chain. And that consists of anywhere between 5 to 10 hours a week. And that's all I'm currently doing right now in the business.
Now, if you were to keep the business, what are some ways you would try to grow it?
Well, there's a lot. First one's international expansion. We can already sell internationally, and we do. We get, a good amount of organic traffic and sales via Google Organic or our TikTok page. I have not run any paid advertising internationally. I spent maybe like $500 way back in the day. And so there's a huge opportunity for expansion. I just don't have the capital to invest in more ads for other countries. Right now, I'm just focusing on US, and that's all I've really focused for. Next expansion idea or growing it would be a proprietary product. So I have a 3D mold of our hero product that our manufacturer sent us. I'm probably one of like 3 people in the world that has this. Like nobody has it. It's private. And so a long-term vision next year was to create a new proprietary product based on customer feedback so that, long story short, nobody in the world would be able to sell this specific product except us. And with that, we could apply for a design patent. And all in all, it would pretty much create a product and further bulletproof and have a moat, a barrier to entry, or a stronger barrier to entry for our brand and niche. Next thing is size expansion. So I'm in, apparel and footwear. And the next expansion opportunity would be having bigger sizes. That's possible through making our own mold and being able to expand as large as we want in size or as small as we want. That's based on people who are requesting, bigger sizes or smaller sizes. The next expansion is product expansion. I have a product catalog from our manufacturer that, again, is very exclusive, not available online. Nobody has access to it. You can't find it online. You can't buy these products because they're just not available online. So, that's an expansion opportunity, just adding more products to our store and, expanding and offering more things to our customers. Another opportunity is wholesale. We have an opportunity for wholesale with one of the largest swimwear retailers in the world. And pretty much I've had a bunch of opportunities and I had to decline due to not being able to handle the, wholesale terms, which they usually ask for net 30 or net 60. And I could not support that. Last thing is Amazon. So we are on Amazon FBM. There's a pretty simple expansion, and that's going to FBA. It's basically holding inventory at Amazon's warehouse and having Amazon Prime, which is obviously everybody knows is a huge advantage versus FBM where we don't get the Prime badge. And yeah, just like I said, just wasn't able to expand into that because of the capital needed. And I had to just be conscious of where my budget was getting allocated.
And what are the biggest risks with this business that a buyer should be aware of?
So the biggest risk with this business, completely transparent, that a buyer should be aware of is going to be copycats. People trying to advertise with our name, our logo, our products, and essentially just copycats, coming up trying to sell our products. And the way I've mitigated a lot of this is one, coming to the US and having a 3PL. That was one of the biggest levers for us, is because people who were trying to sell this product were drop shipping. And one day I was like, fuck that. We're getting a 3PL. We're going to ship from the US. And that pretty much destroyed every main competitor. And the second thing is just copycats and people selling the same product, whether it's on Amazon. And the vision to get around that is, I mentioned in an earlier question, is creating a product mold. And like I said, essentially selling a product that nobody on earth can carry except us. And that product is designed based on customer feedback and what needs to be improved on the product. When we sell it, we have a proprietary product that is be able to file a design patent for. And that's one of the workarounds, I think, of growing this business to where it needs to go. And the second thing is just product expansion. Whoever tries to copy us and who is trying to copy us, whether it's Amazon, another website, nobody carries the amount of products we have. Nobody has the amount of variants. Nobody has the amount of styles we have. And that's a big advantage. And I just scratched the surface with product expansion. There's so many more products we can expand to and really hone ourselves as the flagship brand, because I was the first to be selling these products. And that's the other way. I mean, you think of products, brands like, for example, the Ridge wallet. They sell, those smart wallets for like $100, and they're a huge company. Why are they able to get past all the copycats, all the Amazon guys? And I think it just comes down to branding and expanding their products, expanding their catalog and the styles they offer, and just really honing in on branding, customer retention. That's a perfect example of a company that sells a product that you can buy anywhere, but they're a huge company because they really dialed in on branding, product expansion. And yeah, I think that's the biggest thing that you should be aware of. But as mentioned in another question, and I'll mention it now, is I'm willing to offer support for as long as you need to basically talk about the vision of how this brand can get to where it needs to go. And yeah, I'm really passionate about the business. I didn't want to get rid of it, but like I mentioned in an earlier question, I know the resources that I have and the capital that I have and the leverage that I have. It's just me being realistic, knowing that that is not enough to get this business to where it needs to go.
And how much support are you willing to offer a buyer who acquires this business?
In terms of support, it's pretty much as long as you need, whether it's lifetime or, a few days. I'm still invested in the business, and I have a tattoo of our logo behind my ear because, like I said, this was my first successful business. And I know the potential it can go. I just don't have the expertise or the resources or the capital to get it there. And so I'm willing to offer support as long as possibly needed. So pretty much forever. I'm fully transparent. I like to help. And like I mentioned, I'm passionate about the business. So I want to help and aid into leading it where it needs to go.
And regarding the sale of this business, just confirming you commit to a non-compete?
Yes, I can confirm that I commit to the non-compete. I think the 60-day agreement that Empire Flippers mentioned. Yes.
And are you open to negotiating something like an earnout?
Yeah, so this is an interesting question. I thought of it a lot. I am, but I'm not at the same time because our valuation is a lot lower than I thought it was due to a bit of declining profits. And that's my fault because we needed the liquidity, the cash flow, because we were ordering inventory for Q4. And as I mentioned, I don't have good credit power and borrowing power. So a lot of my bills are due before inventory comes in. So during the months that we had declining profits, September and August, for example, I had to keep our ad spend up for the sake of liquidity. So I know that the valuation is going to increase. So for example, like this month we're profitable. Next month we're going to be profitable. The month after that, we're going to be profitable. So I know that our valuation is going to increase. So it's almost like I don't want an earnout because I already know the business is valuated lower and it's just going to increase. But I am open to it if the payout would be substantially higher. It just depends on the structure. I mean, obviously, you want it upfront, but it's all just going to depend on the structure.
Now, putting yourself in the shoes of a buyer, why do you think this is a business worth buying?
Because of the potential. Our business is compared to $1 billion company. I wish I could say the name. I don't know if I'm allowed. It doesn't matter. I know the potential is there. This is a product or company that, most people thought was just a flash in the pan or a fad or a quick trend. But it's been something that I've been able to sustain. And over time, through the feedback from people, saw really how much potential this business has and the vision that I do have. And, that's why I'm willing to offer lifetime support because I know where this thing can go and how big, this thing can be. And that's really what comes down to this answer of why do you think it's worth buying? Just because of the huge, huge upside potential. And that's not some bullshit that I'm trying to sell you on. That's just like complete honesty. And so you might ask, okay, well, why are you getting rid of it? And as mentioned, I just don't have the expertise, the resources, or the capital to get the business to where I want. And, as mentioned, it is and was my first successful business. So I made a lot of mistakes. I did a lot of growing and I kind of just want to take some chips off the table, have some capital, reset, and use those learnings for the next business.
All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. To learn more and see if this listing is still for sale, head over to empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for this business listing number, which is listed in the video thumbnail and the description. And if you're watching this on YouTube, click the link in the description to go straight to the listing. And once you've unlocked this listing, you'll be given everything you need to know about this business. So thanks for joining us, and until next time.